Good morning. It's Saturday, the 9th of March. Do you know, I should have some I was looking over there just before the camera came on, and I thought, wouldn't it be lovely to have some steps to walk down that, light up as you come down them, just over there. I don't think I've got the room. I'd have to have a bit of, like an extension put on the roof or something like that probably to do that, I reckon. Steps that come down, you know, that light up, like they used to have on the Morecambe and Wise show. Do you remember that? Good morning, gang. It's Saturday, the 9th of March, 2019. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom Talk, where the papers are full of fake news this morning. They were also full of fake news last night. I did post up on my Facebook wall this piece of fake news that I noticed in the Daily Mirror yesterday, and it says, I can't believe it. I mean, I've seen fake news in my time, but this really takes the biscuit. And the headline, women are better drivers than men. Are you for real? That is just fake news to celebrate International Women's Day. Oh, hello, we're all women. Let's have a day. To celebrate International Women's Day, Insure the Box decided to dig into their data to find the real winner of the battle of the fake news. Donald Trump will be on to the phone to the Daily Mirror as we speak. You know, sitting there. Oh, hello, I'm Donald Trump. Why are you doing fake news? Who is this who keeps ringing every time I try and do a show? Will you not ring when I'm trying to do a show, please? Rude. How do I cut that off? Rude. We don't take phone calls, dear, while I'm doing a show. Does this look like a show where phone calls are taken? No. It's absolutely outrageous. It's official, it says in the Daily Mirror. Women are better drivers than men. This is not true, dear. Not true. Have you seen my niece? Or even better than that, my sister. Oh, my God. Talk about take your life into your hands when you get in that car with my sister. My God. And then there's my nephew's wife, Stacey. Oh, dear. When she parks, she looks for not just two spaces, a whole row of spaces so that she can move her. Takes about 25 minutes to park the car. And that's when the car park is empty. Unbelievable. Don't ever park in any part of a car park if you see my nephew's wife pull in there. Oh my God. Unbelievable. It says Insure the Box analysed 4.5 billion, sounds like my bank account actually, 4.5 billion miles of driving data and compared the genders. Yes, but what genders? Remember, we are politically correct in this country, only in this country. How do we know? It says women. Was it a woman? Or was it a transgender person? Or that's very unfair. Very unfair. They're just doing men and women. What about transgender people? What about biofluid people, or whatever that's called? See, they haven't cats and dogs, not included. Unincluded. Terrible. Terrible. It found that here it comes. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here comes the one-liner. The one-liner. Margaret Thatcher was good at one-liners. I've recently joined a group. I'll tell you about that in a minute. It found that women are safer drivers overall. Please. Especially when it comes to speeding. Yes, I agree. No one can drive faster than women. With men, 46% as likely to speed than women. There we are. There is the proof. Fake news, dear. Fake news. Do you know, I shouldn't really tell you this. There are probably actual women watching this show now who also are thinking that this is fake news. They know how badly they drive. They absolutely know how badly they drive. They were watching this at the moment and saying, I can't believe that the Daily Mirror has printed such a piece of fake news. Probably the paper will be closed. I very much doubt that when you go into Martin's, the newsagents, or WH Smith today, there won't be a copy of the Daily Mail because Ofcom, or whoever it is control the papers, have closed them down because of this fake news. Fake, dear, fake. It's not the only bit of fake news. Oh, no. More fake news, boys and girls. And guess where it is again? Daily Mirror again. This one's the weather. The weather. I am sick to death of seeing fake weather news stories in newspapers. And it's always the tabloids. Here we go. Daily Mirror. Snow, sleet, rain and strong winds are bringing misery to the UK as unsettled weather conditions threaten to disrupt travel this weekend. Now, you may be able to see out the window there. Can you see? Can you see bright sunshine? Yes, I thought so. Bright sunshine. Of course, it has to be said that weather can suddenly appear from nowhere. Okay, it can suddenly appear from nowhere. So we wait to see. Many places up in the north. Now, what do they mean by up in the north? Do you mean, the Shetland Islands at the very, very top there? Because that's not what you're saying. Look, snow, it says at the top, snow, sleet, strong winds, rain, bringing misery to the UK. So when you read that, you think, oh my God, it's going to be terrible everywhere. No! The Met Office said, no wonder they lost the contract with the BBC, if this is the crap they come out with, dear. The Met Office said snow will spread to lower levels. What, you mean kind of at foot level? Many places said snow will spread to lower levels later on Saturday as most of the country is hit by strong winds and colder temperatures. Anyway, so they're talking about snow across the whole country, right? So I looked up the weather for Bracknell. This is where I am at the moment, Bracknell in Berkshire, kind of southwest, sort of west. Towards Welsh Wales. Towards Welsh Wales, okay? Today, temperatures over the next 2 weeks. I'm going to give you the highs and the lows in, for the first time on this programme, centigrade. I can't believe it. We're doing centigrade today, not Fahrenheit, centigrade. If you're in America, this may be very complex for you. I will convert a couple of them just for you. If you think 20 degrees centigrade is about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? 10 degrees centigrade is about 50 degrees centigrade, so that gives you some sort of idea. Ready? Here we go. Today, high 13, low 6. Sunday, high 10, low 1. Monday, high 11, low 7. Tuesday, high 8, low 5. Wednesday, 10, 4. Thursday, 11, 7. Friday, 12, 6. Next Saturday, so in a week's time, 10, 3. Sunday week, 9, 3. Monday week, 9-5, 10-5, 11-6, 11-6, 12-5. Where's the bloody snow, dear? None. No snow. No very, very cold weather. Yes, cold weather, but not very, very... More fake news. More fake news again in the Daily Mirror. Shocking. Thank you for your messages. I shall come to those in a moment. Shocking. 2 items of fake news. Now, there is one more item of news I've seen in the Daily Mirror, and I am prepared not to go to church on Sunday once, but to go to every single mass at our church in the hope that this is real news and not fake news. I came across this story yesterday, and I meant to read it to you yesterday, but unfortunately, we ran out of time. This item of news is very, very important. And I actually went to bed late last night because I was up praying that this piece of news is real. Headline: Gemma Collins is quitting Britain. Yeah! Bye-bye, you untalented woman. Goodbye, get off my TV screen. Gemma Collins is quitting Britain and moving to Los Angeles. At this moment, Donald Trump has decided not to build his wall between Mexico. He has now decided to build his wall after seeing this item of news between Los Angeles and the rest of the United States. In fact, the entire world of all countries, for the first time ever, they've all sat round a table. The Americans, the Chinese, the Russians, the French, the Germans. Not us, because we're coming out of Europe. So we weren't included. They did ask. They did ask Mrs. Theresa May and Jeremy Corbyn if they wanted to come, but they've not been able to agree on anything, unfortunately, so they're not going. But the rest of the world is gathered around the table at this moment with Donald Trump, and they have decided that they are happy to pay extra for this wall between the United States and Los Angeles to actually enclose the whole of Los Angeles, so that once Gemma Collins is there, she can't get out again. Extra branches of McDonald's are being installed around her house so that she can actually get in there and never, ever want to leave or grace our television sets again with her totally untalented, talentless talent. The story, the Dancing on Ice diva, and believe me, she's a diva. I'm a star. Don't you know that? I'm a star. She's a diva. The Dancing on Ice diva, 38. I'd like to see that birth certificate, love. What, with skin like that? 38. She wants to chase her dream. I don't think she'll be running very fast somehow. She wants to chase her dream. Of becoming a huge star in America. Well, you're halfway there, love. You're already huge. She wants to become a huge star in America, so she's packing her food, I beg your pardon, she's packing her bags and leaving the country. Bye-bye, Gemma. We're leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Never. Bye. At this moment, large trucks from Blue Circle Cement are rushing towards Los Angeles, and big pallets of bricks are going there to start building the wall between Los Angeles and the rest of the United States and indeed the world. The Chinese have put an awful lot of money into this. They don't want her in her country, my darling. God knows they've got barely enough food to feed their own people. Huh? Her on-off romance with Arj is another one. I've just felt sick. I've just had this vision of Arj and Gemma Collins in bed together. Oh, no. Must be a big bed. Her on-off romance with Arj has been on the rocks again recently, and Gemma says she's had enough. You're not the only one, love. We've had enough of you. Go away. During an appearance on the Jonathan Ross show, hello, my name's Jonathan Ross. The host asked her, are you in love with anyone at the moment? She says, sort of and sort of not. I'm going to get some lessons from Harry Redknapp and Sandra. Oh, well, please, Lord, let that not be fake news. I want that to be real, actual news. There we are, some news stories. So start off our worldwide phenomenon known as United Kingdom Talk. Good morning to you. A very good morning. Let's start with the text messages this morning. Who's texted in this morning? Let's have a look. Little text number up there. If you can get to if you're on a computer, just use that. Text messages really is only for people who can't get to a keyboard. Some people watch it on a large telly, which must be very scary for you seeing me on a large telly, but there we are. First message on the text is from hello. Well, I've just got a number there. Says, hello, fan of the show, keep up the good work. So thank you very much for that. If you want to put your little name, perhaps, all you can do is put your first name, say, I don't know, Mark, and where you are, Mark in, Reading, and that's fine. If you want to, that is. But I don't know who you are, you see, or where you are, but I'm happy to read the message for you. Hello, fan of the show, keep up the good work. Thank you very much for that. And Maureen is there. Good morning, Maureen. She was at the karaoke last night. Oh, we had a wonderful night last night at karaoke. It wasn't over busy. I host 2 karaokes on Mondays and Fridays at Central Station in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross, which we do have a good laugh there. I'm there Monday. Next week, I'm there Monday, and I'm there Friday, and then I'm off for a week. Okay, so next week, I'm there Monday, I'm there Friday, and then I'm off for a week. So there we are. All right. Good morning to Simon Keane, who texts in. He says, today, Friday, or yesterday, Friday, was International Women's Day. It was supposed to be yesterday, but they took longer than expected to get ready. That's probably one of your best jokes ever. Thank you, Simon. Over on Facebook Live, good morning to Mark Jones. I think you're the one with the earliest message today, are you? I'm sure you are. Yes, Mark Jones is there. They've recently, I've mentioned before that all the messages come into one place. YouTube, Facebook, they come in on one screen in front of me. So if you're on Facebook, you'll only see people typing in Facebook messages, okay? If you're on YouTube, you'll only see the people on YouTube. I actually see them both. So sometimes you can hear me talking to people and there's no message. That's because they're on the other platform. Periscope messages don't always get through. I must warn you of that. So if you're on Periscope and you're trying to send a message, it may well not get through. You can use the Facebook message thing or indeed the text number up there now. 07551 259 675. All right, 07551 259 675. Good morning to Shania still. Good morning, Shania. Morning. I'm on the organ rota now. How fabulous is that? I've been put on the organ rota and I looked at the list. I seem to have more organ rotarings than anyone else. How fabulous is that? Except, get this, Shania. I was shocked and horrified. Shania, so I've got third Sunday in Lent, Thor's Palm Sunday, Easter Sunday. They haven't given me Easter Sunday. The most important mass of the year, and they haven't given me Easter Sunday. Outrageous. I wanted to do that well-known hymn. All glory, praise, and honour to you, Redeemer King. Ba 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 ba. I wanted to do that one. No, they haven't given me Easter Sunday. I may have to withdraw my services. Outrageous. No Easter Sunday. I've got Palm Sunday. Not Easter Sunday. Shall I have to make a letter of complaint about that? Good morning to Michael Pullman in sunny Australia. Morning, Michael. Adam the plumber's there. Merlin, it says, is it time for bed yet? Oh, don't say you've been up all night, Merlin. That's not good for you, dear, at your age. Merlin's got daddy issues with me, apparently. Daddy issues. Daddy issues. Yeah, I was on one of those dating apps. And this lad sent me a message. 25 he is. Bit young. 25. He said, I want you to be my daddy. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? I want you to be... That sounds a bit weird. I don't know about that one. I might have to delete that message. Good morning to Mikey Mike. Good morning, Mikey Mike. Welcome to our show, Mikey Mike. Joanna is there. Good morning, Joanna. I might have to sing early for you this morning. Joanna likes to get her earplugs ready for when I sing at the end of the show. I think I might have to sing a shot or just throw a song in suddenly to catch you out. Yes, to catch you with your earplugs out. Morning to Rob Shaggy Kershaw. Michael Lawrence is there. Good morning, Michael. I hope you had a nice birthday yesterday, Michael. All right, we did sing to you yesterday. Sarah Lou Lace is in Devon, lovely part of the world with the red soil. Good morning, Sarah Lou Lace. Johnny Key, hello, Johnny. Good morning to our Johnny there. Great ukulele player. Milky Bar Kid is in the house. Good morning. The Milky Bar Kid is strong enough. If only the world was good enough. Da 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 da. Nestle's Milky Bar. Yeah! I had a Milky Bar Kid outfit. Absolutely. I've got a picture of that somewhere. I'll try and dig that out at some point. Let me write that down. Milky Bar Kid out. I have. When I was seven, I think it was about 6 or 7 years old, and I'm on my bike. I have a Milky Bar Kid outfit. I will try and dig that out. I'll put it on my Facebook. I think it's me and my sister rather than me on my own. Possibly. And I think we're at Pontin's holiday camp. And I had this picture taken. I am. I wanted to be the Milky Bar Kid. Sadly, not good enough. You have to be good looking enough. Have to be good looking to be on those adverts on the telly. Sadly, no. Look at me. Ugly. Ugly, dear. The ugly bus came round the corner and I fell off it. And I didn't become the Milky Bar Kid. I was actually never keen on Milky Bars. They were a bit too milky for me, if you see what I mean. You know. Morning to Robert Lunn. I heard your sister reverses by ear. Yes. I play the organ by ear. She plays her car by ear. I'm sure she does. Oh dear. Mr. Bean is an alien, but he drives a Mini. Mr. Bean. I love Mr. Bean, don't you? Have you seen his films? Very, very funny. And Rowan Atkinson, he does that spoof detective as well, doesn't he? I can't remember what that name is. I think has there been 2 of those films. He does a spoof James Bond. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Good morning to Mike Reese Ponto, who is in Portsmouth this morning. Good morning, Mike. JP's in the house. Good morning, JP. JP, I heard Steve Allen's podcast yesterday. I often listen to his morning show, and I heard him collecting the award, and I'm so pleased. Steve Allen, who's LBC's top presenter, although he's on very early in the morning, 4 till 6 o'clock, he won an award for 40 years on the radio. That is some going. There are very few people who have been on the radio on the same station for 40 years. Absolutely. I'm so pleased he won that award, and he blooming well deserves that. I'm so pleased. So Steve Allen on LBC, fantastic. Absolutely. Congratulations for winning that award, and so deserved. Hard work. He's in there every day doing his show and interviews and things like that. And he said something actually that kind of made me think, I think, I obviously I'm not as good as him, but he does, he said something where when someone took over LBC, they wanted him to take phone calls. And he didn't like that. He didn't want to take phone calls because he's a stand-alone presenter. He called himself a stand-alone presenter, right? And I think they did the phone call thing for one show. I'm not sure if this is 100% correct, but from what he said, it sounded like he took the phone calls for one show, and the next day they reversed the decision and let him go back to doing the show on his own. And I think I'm a bit similar to that. Often I've been doing a show and I've started I can take phone calls here, and I've started taking phone calls, and it just doesn't always work. Some of them do. Some of them are really good. When we open the phone line and you might get the right people calling. In fact, since we started doing that again it's about 3 weeks, I think. We did it for a few days about 3 weeks ago, and it actually worked. But other times you can take phone calls, and my God, are people boring on the phone? And you're trying to extract them, to be a bit happier. Or you get depressing people on the phone. You're kind of upbeat and you're doing it all upbeat and all that. And then someone says, "Oh, and how are you today?" "Oh, I'm not having a good time at the moment. So-and-so, the cat's died. My pet goldfish left the house, and Gemma Collins was spotted in a McDonald's and there's nothing left to eat." It's a bit like that. And I'm thinking, oh God, I wish I'd never taken this call now. So I feel that I'm kind of a little bit like that as well. I'm not that keen on I do like to take phone calls, but in the same breath, I'm not that keen on doing it in case we get the wrong people on. The last lot of people I can't remember who rang in the last time we did it a couple of weeks ago, but they were all very, very good calls. Very good, interesting calls. If you're going to ring in and say, "Oh, hello, good morning to you," whatever your name is, John. Good morning, John. How are you today? "Oh, I'm all right." "Okay, what did you ring up for?" "I just wanted to say hello." "Right. Okay then. Yeah, okay, so that's it, is it?" "Yeah, just wanted to say," "Oh, okay." That's not an interesting phone call. Who wants to listen to that? Got to be interesting. So that, in a way, I liken myself to that. The fact that I think I prefer to just sit here and talk. Rubbish most of the time. Let's be honest. It is. It's rubbish. This show is rubbish. I know that. God knows why you're still sitting there watching the damn thing. Let's have a look. Joanna, did I say hello to you, Joanna? Good morning, Joanna. Oh yes, I'm going to sing to her personally later on, I think. Rob, Shaggy, Kershaw, we have strong gale force winds, rain, sleet and hail here in York this morning. We'll put an umbrella up then. Stop moaning. Put an umbrella up and close the window. Do you ever leave your window open, Rob? And you come and you've gone out and it's poured down, and you come in, you've got wet carpet. Either that or the cat's had a wee on there. Hello to Diana Strelly. Good morning, Diana. She was at the karaoke. We had a lovely night last. It was a really lovely night at the karaoke last night. And I'm always pleased to see Diana. She killed herself laughing last night. This bloke, Right, so this bloke last night, he walked in. Now, the stage is there. The door where you come in, there's 2 doors you can come in. One of them's almost next to the stage. This bloke comes in, and there's also a hotel upstairs, I say a hotel, it's like just a few rooms above the pub. But it's classed as a hotel, right? And they get breakfast and all that business. £100 a night. £100 a night for there, dear. Anyway, so they come in. This bloke comes in, comes up to the stage and puts a case down. And he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I just had 2 people start singing. I've cut the music. I said, I'm sorry, mate, you can't leave that there. Oh, well, it'll be all right. No, it won't be all right. You'll have to move that off there. You can't leave that on there. Well, it's just a case. No, I'm sorry, you can't leave it on there. And we're just silent now. 2 people on the stage waiting to sing. I'm standing there looking at him. He's looking at me. He's picked up the bag and gone, I don't know what's in that case. I do not know what. It's a great big bloody suitcase it was. There could be a bomb in that suitcase. How do I know? I've never met him, never seen him before. You must be joking. In this day and age, think you walk into a bar and put a bag down. I'll just leave that there for 2 minutes. Yeah, he goes out the back, runs down the road, the thing goes off and goes bang. We're all dead. I don't think so, mate. I can't believe it. Besides, what makes you think you can come into a place and put a suitcase on a stage where 2 people are singing and there's a show going on? Would you do that to Shirley Bassey at the Royal Albert Hall? Can you just imagine it now? Perhaps some of the young people, they all wear rucksacks, don't they? Walking into the Royal Albert Hall. So Shirley's on the stage singing. I'll just put that bag there. No, it wouldn't happen. So don't do it when I'm at my karaoke. Thank you very much. Outrageous. JP, Gemma the Fridge Collins. Is that what Steve Allen calls her? Gemma the Fridge Collins. I think Gemma Collins is her very own McDonald's branch. Gemma Collins, they could name a McDonald's or a Kentucky Fried Chicken after Gemma Collins, couldn't they? You know, like they named ships. HRH, Queen Elizabeth II. You know, the Queen Victoria. McDonald's, the Gemma Collins. Morning to Alan Russell. You missed a damn good night last night, Alan. Oh, it was fab. And Diane done a couple of good songs, and then she chose a ballad. Then she chose you can't do ballads, Diane. I'm sorry, dear. You do pop songs really well. There's this thing with karaoke, and you, after someone's been for some time, you realise what songs suit certain people and what songs suit other people. Now, take Mark Cording, for example. He's not with us this morning. You know Mark. He's a lovely chap, he is, and good singer. Now, he's a rock singer. He's so good at stuff like AC/DC. I don't know if he does the Killers, but he'd be good at the Killers, that sort of stuff. He's really good at that. Not so good at the show tunes. Right? He does the show tunes. They tend to be too high. He can't get to the notes. So I don't know why he chooses them. He's a really good rock singer. I work with a cat. This is only in my opinion, which may or may not be correct, right? I work with a cabaret artist. Her name's Kelly. She's actually my agent as well. She comes on. She's a rock. She's another one, a rock singer. She's really good at the rock singer. Sometimes she does the dance numbers. Not so sure about that, you know. Some people are really good. There's all-rounders. Matt, who was there last night, he's a bit of an all-rounder. He can do a ballad and it sounds fantastic. Diane, I think you are really good at up-tempo, happy numbers, like I Want to Dance with Someone, and I think you did another one last night, an up-tempo. That works for you. Then you do a ballad. It kills it stone dead. It's not you, it's the song. Wrong song for you. And there's me. Can't sing anything at all. But that's just how it is. So you need to sometimes listen to other people, I think. Lazio, well, I mean, he just does the ballads and there's nothing you can tell him, is there? He's always just going to do those depressing ballads. But some people can do ballads. We had another lad last night. Neil was his name. He has been a few times. He doesn't come regular. He'll just turn up and months ago past, and then he comes back again. And he does Lionel Richie stuff. And he's damn good. He's damn good. And I found out last night he does a Lionel Richie tribute. What's a tribute? Okay, that's where you've got like a start, the actual start, like Lionel Richie. and then someone does a cabaret show and does Lionel Richie, if you see what I mean. And he did Lionel Richie, and George Benson. He did In Your Eyes. Do you like that one? In your eyes, la 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 la. In your eyes. Oh, I love it. And that's a ballad. But it's sung and it suited him. It wouldn't suit me. Wouldn't suit me to sing that. Suited him. He was fantastic. And then he did Lionel Richie. It was either Truly or Still, I think he did last night. And that suits him. That suits him. And he did Luther Vandross. Never too much, never too much. Da, da, da. I'd love to be a soul singer, but I'm not. You know? People have to find out what they're good at. Maureen, she can sing anything. Maureen, what's her best stuff? In my opinion, remember that, which is not necessarily the same opinion as yours, ABBA. She does ABBA. And One Way Ticket. You know that? One Way Ticket. Well, this is especially for Sarah. I'm singing for you, Sarah. One way ticket to the moon. The funny thing is, with that One Way Ticket, it's got this long, slow intro, and it sounds like she's about to do a ballad, and then she gets up and she gets into it, and she's dancing on the stage, and it's fab. And that's what it's all about. You don't need to be a good singer to be at karaoke. In fact, I prefer it when you're not, because it's so much more fun. If you've got character, you will carry it off. Absolutely. If you stand there on the stage looking as bored as anything, you won't be able to sit. Doesn't matter what if you've got the best voice in there, if you stand on the stage looking as bored as sin, you won't get anywhere. No one will like you. You will be hated like Gemma Collins. But perhaps not so fat. Now, look at you, Diane. You have a character. You can stand up there and sing these happy songs, which are sometimes in tune even. And people love you because you have a character. Other people, they can go up there, and I've had people with fantastic voices, but they just stand there and blankly stare at the screen. There is nothing else there other than the voice, and you need more. Bit like the X Factor. Good singers on the X Factor, but you've got to have some character behind there. You've got it, Diane. You've got the X Factor. And who knows, one day you may have the voice as well, my darling. It was lovely to see you last night, it really was. JP, have they made a plane big enough for GC? I doubt that very much. The A380, they're stopping building that, aren't they? Oh dear. Shania, how is Lent going? Very well, Shania. I've been able to completely stick to my stuff. It may be difficult in Cyprus, because I don't know where to buy things and cook things. That's going to be very, very difficult. So if it goes wrong there, I shall add a week onto the end. I think that is acceptable, don't you, Shania? Lent is going very, very well indeed. Thank you very much. Completely stuck to my things, including last night. Morning to Julian Clark. Good morning, Julian. Rob, are you the daddy or Merlin, Chris? No, apparently I was the daddy. Merlin sent me a text and said, I've got daddy issues. I said, who with? You standing on the stage. Shania's pleased about me being on the organ rota. Palm Sunday is an important mass too. Yes, but not as important as Easter Sunday, because that is when Jesus rose from the dead. Christ the Lord is risen today. Alleluia. Yes. We like it. Johnny English, thank you very much. That's the other Mr. Bean thing, isn't it? With Mr. Atkinson. Yes. Oh, I've got itch on my arm. Johnny English is where he did the spoof 007 thing. Merlin, there he is. Not been out all night. Oh, been in hospital for 3 days on oxygen and nebulizer. So shattered. My mate's had this. Have you got a chest infection, Merlin? I'm afraid it hangs around for ages. Absolutely ages. Yeah, well, good luck on getting well. Don't take it easy. Don't go out for a while. I know it's difficult. I know you like going out, Merlin, but take it easy. Mind you, it's probably difficult for you to stay indoors, isn't it, Merlin? Because you live in that awful place, don't you, with the hard-to-let properties. With mould, black mould on the wall and all that, don't you? And damp duvet. Must be very difficult for you, lovey. Are you in an old caravan? Is that where you are? Rowan Atkinson, Johnny English. Thank you, Julian. That's the one. Let's have a look. Works. Phone calls. Merlin says phone calls work from time to time, only when you have a good producer who can screen people. Yes, well, that would probably work for me. You know, because obviously at places like LBC, proper radio station, not like me, bloke in here sitting here talking to himself, but proper radio stations, LBC, Talk Radio, the BBC. When you ring up, you don't speak direct to the person. There's a lady or a bloke answering the phone, and they will listen to you. And you think they're just taking information. No, they're listening to your character to see whether you would make a good person to sound good on the radio. Yeah? And then if you're lucky, you get put through. Sometimes they slip through the net and some of them are boring. There are some wonderful callers on LBC. There's this really posh woman who calls from Croydon. I can't remember her name now. She's fantastic. She rings up Nick Abbott usually. Although I have to admit, I haven't listened to LBC this week at all. I've been listening to the new classical station, Scala Radio, which I'm quite enjoying that. There's some very well-known music coming up there. They had a Mozart thing on there last night. I don't recognise, I'm not a classical music person, but I quite like this station, Scala Radio. I love the jingles. Da, 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 Scala. Like that they are. They're all like that. Wonderful. I wonder who wrote the jingles. I bet it was David Arnold. See if you can find that out for me, Merlin. Who wrote the Scala Radio jingles? I bet it was David Arnold. Have a look. Morning to Mr. Gregorian joining us there. Ray Reynolds is in now. You're a bit late, Ray. Bit late. Good morning, Ray. S. Gregorian, hello. Joanna, please don't sing for me. Don't sing for me, little Joanna. The truth is you really love it. You love my singing. You love my singing. And I will sing more just for you. Yes. There you are, Joanna. Perhaps we could have a whole orchestra in there as well as the light-up steps coming down. It'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? All right. Merlin, I'm sure people are stupid at work. They leave buggies unattended, so I hide them. Do you hide buggies from them? It amazes me, these people with children's buggies. They think they can just pick up the child and then just leave it anywhere. Restaurants, tube stations, in the street, in the corner at Sainsbury's. That's the worst place. Sainsbury's is the worst place for women and buggies everywhere. Banging them into the back of your ankles, dear, after they've badly parked the car outside across 10 bays. No ballads, no more. Thank you, Diana. Someone quickly copy that. Someone take a photograph of that. I'm going to take a photograph of that myself. Just a moment, please. Just a minute, because Diana has said she's not doing ballads anymore, so I'm going to take a photo of that message you just sent, Diana. One moment, please. Done that. So if you ever put a ballad in again, I'm going to show you that picture, because you've just promised not to do any more ballads. Thank you. Ban the ballad. Ban the ballad. DJ Chris, he used to, well, he hasn't been for a while now. So at least we've lost a third of the depressing ballads. It's you, him and Lady Phoenix who do depressing ballads. We don't like depressing ballads. Thank you. If you can sing a ballad really well, then do it. Ballads are not for you, Diane. Happy songs are for you. I want to dance with somebody. Oh, what's that one with the bloke from Korea? And they've got that funny dance. He's a short bloke with funny haircut. No, it's not King Jing Jong whatever his name is. The little gangsters. No, not Gangsters Paradise. You know that one with the dance? I think you should do that one and dance at the same time. You know the bloke with North Korea? It's about a year ago now, wasn't it? Something like that. Who was that? Oh dear. Let's have a look. Just scroll down a little bit there. Come to Portsmouth and do your karaoke, says Mike. I could do that Sundays. You can find me a little job down there Sunday nights. You can have one of my karaoke's in Portsmouth. I would do that. Diana says, I thought you loved Gemma Collins. No, I don't. I don't like untalented people on the television. Even worse, she's making an absolute fortune. How can you make so much money out of being untalented? It amazes me. There are kids on little stages all over the country, amateur dramatics and all that sort of thing, in theatres who have to have another job because they haven't got enough. And they're fantastic actors. Young people, old people, everyone in the middle. Loads and loads of talent acting. They can't afford to live. And then there's Gemma Collins. No talent whatsoever, earning millions. That's why I hate her so much. I really do. Hate is a dreadful word, isn't it? It is a dreadful word. But I do. Alan, the worst singers get the best applause. Yes, that's why no one ever claps for you, Alan. Have you noticed that? No one claps for you. I think you need a little bit more star quality, Alan. Tidy yourself up a bit before you come on that stage, dear. Get your hair done. Oh, sorry, you haven't got any. Like me. We are hairless. GC made the classic Nelly the Elephant. Yes, you should do that one. Nelly the Elephant. Da, 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 and said goodbye to the circus. Thank you. Weird City Citizen, have I said hello to you this morning? I do hope so. Have you got any jingles? I do have jingles. Yes, I've got a couple of jingles here. What, my own jingle? Not for this particular show, but in the past, where, would you like me to play one? Let me see if I can find one for you. One of my old radio jingles. I'm sure there'll be something here. Jingles. So I have done the radio, you know. I have been on the radio. 1 minute. Jingles old. Let's try that one. Let's see what we find there. There's one. Okay. Ready? Hang on a minute. Let me pull that up there. Here's one of my old jingles. I used to be on the Liberty Radio, which was a London station many years ago. Ready? Here we go.
With the best music from the 70s, 80s and 90s. This is Liberty Radio on 963 and 972 AM with Chris Reardon.
All over London, Liberty.
And they were fab jingles. Another one here.
With the best music from the 70s, 80s and 90s. This is Liberty Radio on 963 and 972 AM with Chris Reardon.
963 and 972 Liberty.
Aren't they fab? We like sung jingles. These talking jingles are so boring. We'll do one more. I was on an online station called CMP Radio. Here's this one.
More variety, more of the time.
Chris Reardon.
I'm CMP.
I love jingles. I absolutely love radio jingles. And the ones on Scala Radio and LBC, I think they're fantastic. They're all done by orchestras. No one sitting there on a little keyboard. No, whole orchestras. And I'm sure it must be David Arnold who did the Scala Radio jingles. He's great. David Arnold actually is the person who wrote the music that I use at the beginning. You know the one? And I've discovered this music, wrote to him and asked him if I could use it and how much it would cost. And he said, it's an old piece of music. Feel free to use it as you want, free of charge. How fantastic. I've actually got the letter, you know, because when you get a letter like that, you keep it. So if anyone says, oh, you haven't got permission. Yes, I have. There's the letter. Thank you very much. You know, so it was very kind of him, actually. David Arnold, great composer. You would have heard his other stuff. James Bond stuff he's written, jingles for the television, all sorts of stuff he's written. There's Ray Reynolds. There, we've said hello to Ray. Julian, talking of dumping bags, a few years ago, I was doing a show in a bar in Magaluf. Do you think I'd fit in Magaluf? Is that my sort of place? Magaluf. And Miguel decided to come along after finishing work. He was a waiter and changed his clothes after work. Please bear in mind that we're both well known to the owners, staff and regulars. Miguel came in, dropped his bag at the bar, said hello to the bar staff and disappeared to the gents. Now, unfortunately, that night he decided to put on a very old T-shirt, his favourite, which depicted the Twin Towers. Now, also bear in mind that Miguel is typically darker-skinned Spaniard, and you can probably see where this story is going. Half the audience thought there was a terrorist in the house. Oh dear. Do be careful with you can't just go in somewhere and drop a bag. Very dangerous. Alan says he sings nice ballads. Yes, you do. You do sing nice ballads. I will give you that, Alan. Gangnam Style. Thank you very much, Paul Gallagher. That's one for you, Diane. Gangnam Style by PSY. Gangnam Style. And the dance. You got to do the dance as well. Thank you, Diana. You got to do that one. Shania, you can play Ride On, Ride On, Ride On in Majesty. Da 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 da. I'll probably drop that a couple of keys. Because the trouble with hymns is they all seem to be written quite high up, which is all very well for you beautiful ladies out there. But for us blokes, we can't get to the high notes. And I know Father David, he likes them to be dropped a couple of notes or so. You maybe 2 whole tones sometimes, which suits me fine actually. So I can, because I play by ear, I can usually drop them a couple of notes. I'm very lucky to be able to do that. Merlin says the press release for Scala says the sound of the station has been created with modern bespoke scores recorded by the City of Prague Philharmonic Orchestra. Now that would kind of make sense, Merlin, actually, because what happens with lots of things, music as well, hospital operations, go abroad and it's always a lot cheaper. So I could probably believe that actually. The word Scala, I believe it's some sort of theatre in Italy somewhere, the Scala Theatre, which is known for its classical stuff that they do there. And I think that's where they took the name Scala from. So, yeah, I could believe that. If they've gone to another country to actually record the jingles, it's probably a lot cheaper to hire an entire orchestra there than it is here. It's just the way things are, isn't it? Rob, put your comment again. I don't scroll up. If I've missed something, I've missed something. That's just how it is, I'm afraid. Write it again if you think I've missed a comment, okay? Mike, your show theme tune was David Arnold, also used by Radio Mercury. Correct. I expect you already know that. Yes, it was Radio Mercury, and it's also been on a couple of adverts on the telly as well, which you may or may not have heard. I've one of the long adverts. I think they're called adumentaries or docu adverts or something like that. Documercials. I can't remember what they're called now, but you know, like when you turn on the telly late at night and you get those commercials on that go on for like 10 minutes advertising, I don't know, a mixer or something like that. I think I've heard it on one of those before. Okay, good. Excellent. Let me have a look here. I was nearly knocked off my bike yesterday. Oh, I turned the air blue yesterday. You would have been shocked what came out of my mouth yesterday. So I'm walking up to the swimming pool, right, from my house. It's about a 20 to 25 minute walk. I was dawdling yesterday, you know. I was on the phone in one hand, chatting away to someone. And it might have been, I'm sure I was chatting, who was it? My sister, I think it was my sister, chatting away to them yesterday. And I'm on a footpath, which is also used by cycles, okay? Infomercials, thank you. That's it, Merlin. Infomercials, that's the one. And I noticed some flowers growing on this tree upwards. I thought, oh, I'll have it. And I crossed over, right? I'm off the phone now, so the phone's in my pocket. I've crossed over and I've just touched this thing, right? There's that much gap between me and a bush. A bloody cyclist has tried to come through that gap. Well, he actually made it through there. Had it had been another second, my hand would have been over and he would have hit me. And he was really close to me. I was shocked. I'm surprised he didn't hit me, to be honest. This bloody cyclist, and it's only bushes there. Well, I've gone mad, haven't I? Oi! And then he's turned around and said, you're all over the path. I said, have you got a bell? Why didn't you shout something? How do I know you're there? Come here, you FNC. I was terrible. Oh, I'm so glad you weren't there, Shania. You would have been horrified. I lost the plot, dear. Lost the plot. I'm screaming at this bloke. Stop. Oi, come here. Nope. Scared, weren't he? Scared. He was probably about 58, a little bit older than me. How rude. Please, if you're on a bike, ring the bloody bell. We don't know you're behind us. How did I know that? I was shocked at my own language. I really was. Nope, there is no video that I can send you either. No video at all. Right, I said to you, I've joined this thing on YouTube, on Facebook, one of the Facebook groups, okay? And it's about Margaret Thatcher. Whether or not you did like her is irrelevant, but she used to come out with some fantastic one-liners. The group on Facebook, if you want to join it, is called The Grocer's Daughter. and it's fans of Margaret Thatcher. I was a fan of Margaret Thatcher, okay? I have my house because I went on the right to buy scheme and I bought a house from the council at vastly discounted rate in Wandsworth, and then I sold that and bought my house where I am here. I have this house because of Margaret Thatcher. Do I agree with what happened with the right to buy? Probably not. Probably not. Because now we've got hardly any social housing. We haven't got enough social housing in this country. And we actually understood at the time, that the money raised from selling off council houses would be used to build new places. Yeah? That didn't happen. Certainly in Wandsworth Council, they used the money to keep the council tax down so that they get voted in again. That's what happened. Did I agree with what was going on about selling off council houses? No. I didn't really, but if the offer is there, you'd be a fool not to take it. So I did, along with thousands of other people who have all got their houses because of Margaret Thatcher. Okay, so that's really, I'm a bit of a fan of hers. And there's this thing on Facebook called The Grocer's Daughter. That's the Facebook group name. And here's just one of the comments that I came across there. Which, I mean, if only the politicians listen to this sort of thing these days. Standing in the middle of the road is very dangerous. You get knocked down by traffic on both sides. And I think we don't really do politics on this little fun show. But I think there's a lot to be said with that. I think there's an awful lot to be said for that. And in a way, Mrs. May... I quite like her. I'm sorry, I do. Yeah, I quite like Mrs. May. Mrs. May, as all the time, she's in the middle. She's in the middle of all this. I don't know who else would have been able to do the job that she's carrying out of at the moment, but she's tried to remain in the middle because whichever way, if she goes slightly to the right, she will upset all the people on the left. If she goes slightly to the left, she'll upset everyone on the right. So she's kind of down the middle, and whichever way she turns, she cannot win. But it would have been the same for anyone else. It's very, very difficult. So, I mean, if you went for one side and they were bigger than the other side, that wouldn't be too much of a problem. But the fact is, this whole Brexit thing is kind of split 50-50. It's all very well saying, oh, it's 52%, so it's not 50. Come on. It's almost 50-50. And it's very, very difficult to compromise, to please both sides, because people just won't back down. We always used to go with a majority decision. The fact is, 2% isn't that much. Yes, it is a majority. Of course it is. But it's not much of one. So when you start doing stuff and then this side starts shouting their heads off, terrible. But she's quite right with that comment there. She's absolutely right. Standing in the middle of the road, said Thatcher, is very dangerous. You get knocked down by traffic from both sides. Damn good. And that site, The Grocer's Daughter, again on Facebook, is full of quotes like that. So have a look at that and I think you'll enjoy that. Okay? The quotes. So she comes to such common sense on there. Such common sense, some of which some people are just completely without these days, as you well know. No common sense from anyone, I'm afraid. Rob, can we start the topic of lazy people? Why in this world we lived in people do everything done for them? Oh, yes. An example is at work. I deal with a lot of brand new computers working within the ICT department for our NHS trust. The computers come in a ridiculous amount of cardboard and packaging. Oh, yeah, like ordering something off Amazon. Ordering some off Amazon, come in big cardboard boxes. Now, I was told the reason the Amazon parcels always come in great big boxes, all the same size, big box, whether you order something like that, comes in a big box, is because that's how they fit well into the van. Whether or not that's true or not, I don't know. Rob says, I feel bad if I leave this for the domestic cleaning staff to take outside for me, so don't do it. I know they are paid to do it, but it's not the point. Why should I expect them to do it for me? Oh, it's like the people around here. You see rubbish outside people's houses. Perhaps a tin can, couple of empty bags of crisps. Outside their house. But they won't pick it up because it's not their rubbish. It's sitting outside their house. Someone has clearly dropped it or it's blown in from... Oh, no, it's not mine. Not picking it up. That is the attitude of people. I Personally, you will be very surprised at this. I've got one of those sticks. I ordered it off Amazon. I've had it about 3 or 4 years now. And you pick up things. And I go around my bit of grass in front here, in between all the houses, and pick up the rubbish. Because these bastards are too lazy to pick it up themselves. It's actually not too bad round there's like a square. It's okay round my side, and it's that side, right? Just random tins occasionally appear. And of course, some kids had a drink and just tossed it in there. I go in and pick it up. It's not my house out round there, but I think it improves the area to do that. People don't want to do things anymore, do they? Unless it involves them getting money. You're absolutely right, Rob. Years ago, when I was younger and I was going to the church in Roehampton, there was a team of people, organists, cleaners, people who did a bit of painting. If you wanted a job done in the church, priest would come up there to done all the mass, and at the sermon, by the way, does anyone know how to repair the timer on a central heating system? Could you come? And someone would go and do it for nothing, for the love of the church. Certainly the church I go to is a bit like that. But where I played the organ about 5 years ago, when I went back to my church in Roehampton, and I went there. And I said, I play the organ. Oh, yeah, well, we need an organist at the moment. How much do you charge? And I'm like, well, what do you mean, how much do I charge? Well, we had to pay the other guy £50 for each service. How much do you charge? I said, well, I don't charge. Oh, don't you? And I was absolutely shocked by this. Now, I know that if you're in the Church of England, I know they pay their organists this, that, and the cleaners, everything, right? But certainly in the church I used to go to as a boy, we never used to charge. And I'm like, well, I don't. Oh, okay then. And I came away thinking, how could you charge the church to do? You want to do it? You see what I mean? So it works very differently in the Church of England, I believe. So yes, people just don't want to do anything for nothing anymore, do they? I had a manager, I worked with him for years, and he just, and I've been doing this little thing for years now, he just could not comprehend why I sit here doing this for nothing, because I damn well enjoy it. That's why. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be sitting here, would I? People don't get it. They don't want to do anything for nothing anymore. They just want to sit on their fat, lazy arses and eat McDonald's in front of blooming Jeremy Carl all the time. Back to Rob's comments there. On the subject of the cleaners moving the boxes, he says, I know they are paid to do it, but it's not the point. Why should I expect them to do it for me? It's the same with women expecting the door to always be held open for them. It's no a needs must. It's called being polite, and it works both ways. Oh yeah, but I've opened the door for people before, Rob, now, and they give you a scolding look and say, I don't need the door holding open. How do you win? That I generally only hold the door open for older people now, old ladies. They are thank you, they say. The young ones just swan in like it's their God-given right, rude. Good morning to Paul Gallagher, who says, I pick up the rubbish on my street, which is a nice grass, verges and trees. I'm the only one that does it. Yeah, well, there's me and two ladies. I don't know where the other ladies come from. They must come from right down there, right down the path. Away from our houses, there's one that goes round twice a week. And she's got the picking up thing, the same thing I've got. She's got to carry a bag and picks up random cans. It's her keeping the place clean. This is one of the reasons the council taxes are so high, is because they have to pay people to go around and pick up all your crap. And you've seen people. I've been driving along and suddenly an old bag of McDonald's cartons and wrappers comes out of a window onto the road. Oh, ghastly people. Paul says, I've only had the occasional compliment, but not inspired anyone else to do it. And that's in Hounslow. It's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame. People just don't take a pride. When we were in Roehampton, we had our flat in Masonette. It was like two, There was one lot of flats underneath and one lot of flats above. But they were masonettes, up and down, one on top of the other. Only ground and first floor. That was it. And when we first moved there was a rota, an unwritten rota. No one had said, you've got to do this. It was just taken as expected. that this is your week to clean the stairs. And there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was about 12 flats, 12 masonettes in the row. Okay? And it might be your week to clean down the stairs. And literally, and it was always the ladies. It was always the ladies doing it. They would go out there with their disinfectant and buckets and mops and brooms, and they would sweep down, and then they would do the stairs once a week. Well, not every. We wouldn't do it once a week. So that was your week, and then of course you'd have another 10 weeks or something before it was your turn again. Gradually, as people moved out or died, new people would move. They wouldn't want to do it. And I think eventually it was my mum was the only one who was doing it. I'd left long ago. But before mum died in 2000, sort of 1999, I think she was the only one doing it. Eventually, of course, the council had to start paying contractors to come in and do it. And they never do it as well. You know, you're never going to do it as well as if you actually live there. No one wants you to do it anymore. Oh, why has my council tax gone up? Because you're too bone idle to clean your own bloody stairs, that's why. Funny, isn't it, really? If only people took a little bit more pride at where they lived, whether or not they own their own houses. If they're renting from the council or a private landlord or something like that, why don't people take a pride on where they live? Where I go and pick the rubbish up, as I say, it's a big square, so it goes how... 1, 2, so X number of houses there, 2 flats there above garages, X number of houses here, okay? In the middle, this is green in the middle, but not just grass, you couldn't walk across it, it's all bushes growing up, big tall pine trees, shrubs that I've put in over the years. I don't own that piece of grass, but I want it to look nice. And I walk around that whole area and I pick up, and it's not like tons of rubbish. You do it once a week, you might pick up 3 cans, a few bags of crisps, that's it. Leave it for a month and you can see how it would be. Because I want it to look nice. I don't want to look out my window at bags of rubbish. No one else does it here. No one. And I don't get it. I don't understand why people don't want to have it nice where they live. Don't make sense to me. It's beyond me. It really is. Rob says, have you heard of the ripple effect? I went on a course about it and it was very interesting. I don't know what the ripple effect is, no. Paul is with me, 100%. Civic pride and pride in yourself is related. See, they have no pride in their homes. They just let the crisp packet of it can be on there for weeks. An old can or something like that. Don't understand. Rob, the ripple effect affects people like a domino effect. The ripple effect is emotional contagion in groups. I don't know what that means, contagion, which is more precisely the transfer of moods among people in a group. It's obvious that the moods of others affect us, and spending time with someone negative will increase your own negativity. Well, I haven't got anyone here, so that's all right. The theory actually works. Try it tomorrow morning. Wake up and the first person you see, compliment them, and this will empower their day, and they will be in a better mood and pass on the positive. I don't think so, Rob. No, the times I've said hello to someone, I'm walking down the road and I'm a happy chap. I'm a happy chap walking around. Morning. Morning. And they carry on. No, that don't always work, Rob. Good morning to Ronnie. There he is. My mate's there, Ronnie, keeping an eye on the time. I can't go over time. He's ready to tell me off there because he's coming around at 11 o'clock. We're going into town. And when me and Ronnie go into town, we will be happy. And we will smile at people, and we will say good morning, and we will continue to say good morning to people until they bloody well answer us back with a smile. And that's it. I'm glad I've seen you, Ronnie. You've made me look at the clock now. It's because I'm a bit weird. Is that right? All righty, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Happy birthday. On this, we've got 8 today, on this Saturday, the 9th of March, 2019, to Andy. Hello, Andy. He's 50 today. Life begins at 50, Andy. Life begins at 50. Happy birthday. Is Handy Andy, is that you as well? I think you've got two profiles there, Andy. Handy Andy and Andy Andy. Dane Beresford is a young 30 years old today. Good morning, Dane. Happy birthday to you. Bancha Reinkem is 49 years old today. Rick Porter, good morning, Rick. Happy birthday to you. Danny Hillian is 48 years old today. Happy birthday, Danny. We got Raymond Brown there, 47 today. And Patrick Deegan as well. Lots of birthdays this morning. Happy birthday, boys and girls. And hello to Ben Naser this morning, joining us very late there. Good morning, Ben. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. All right. Mike wants to know, are we going into town for a Greg's vegan sausage roll? Sadly not, because that's on my list of Lent things that I can't have. Pastry, I consider pastry the same as bread, almost. So it's kind of the same sort of ingredients as bread. So I'm including that on my Lent. Oh, I haven't whipped myself this morning. Just a minute. I need to whip myself as it's Lent. That's it. We need to whip ourselves every So it's one of my things I've given up for Lent. So no vegan sausage. I suppose I could peel off the pastry and just have the sausage, the corn compound in the middle or something. Couldn't that? Thank you, Joanna. I was singing those special birthday messages for you as well, my dear. All right. Okie doke, that's it today. Thanks ever so much for joining us. I hope to be back with you tomorrow morning. I'm not playing the organ tomorrow, so I can leave a bit later. So hopefully, I'm never 100% sure whether I'll be here or not. Don't forget, always have your little notifications thing set on. I would suggest you have the YouTube one on and the Facebook one as well, because sometimes one of them doesn't work. And then whenever there's a show, you'll get a little bleep and you can join us. Okay? Have a lovely Saturday. Thanks very much for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.